What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my garage for the fourth straight video because I'm still having the same problems I was having in the last 3 videos. And today, you guys get to hear the occasional lawnmower because my neighbor decided to start mowing their lawn right when I wanted to record. So that's just something else we get to deal with. My name is Jackson Powers if you're new around here. And today I have an AEW video for you guys. So last night, was AEW Forbidden Door, and I was gonna talk about the whole show, but then I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, okay, all the matches were phenomenal, so many great matches, but there's one match in particular I just want to make a whole video about, so we're gonna do that. I think in the main event, AEW put on the match of the year between Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland in the finals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Good God, that was hands down one of the best matches I've ever seen. I mean, it had everything, all the false finishes, all the kickouts, both guys, bloody the whole time. And like going into that match, I was like 100% certain that Will Ospreay was gonna win. But as this match went on, they had me really second guessing that because Swerve Strickland put on one hell of a performance, and so did Will Ospreay. And I know there's a lot of people that probably complain about how much stuff they kicked out of, and I'm just sitting here like, bro, it's wrestling. It's not real. Like, it's not a real fight. Like, yeah, what they're doing actually does hurt, but it's not a real fight. So let them kick out of whatever the hell they want. It's entertaining. That match was so good. Like, hands down, I think it's the best match I've ever seen. I mean, it was just such a phenomenal match. Like, easily up to this point, in my personal opinion, the match of the year. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. But that's how I feel, because that's the type of wrestling I enjoy. Fast-paced, false finishes, playing with the emotions. Like, I thought the match was over so many times. Like, and the crowd was into it the whole time. I don't have any notes or nothing. If you're new around here, that's something about me is I don't have notes. I just kind of yap. So if you don't like that, well, I'm sorry. But I don't even know where to begin with this match. So the entrances were just spectacular. Will Ospreay came out with what looked like a Bane mask. And I always love Will Ospreay's entrance when he does the Osprey, where he like goes to the ropes and points to the crowd. I always think that stuff is cool. And this entrance was even better than Swerve Strickland. He rode out on a motorcycle. He had a pretty cool entrance. And like immediately, it just felt like a big fight feel. And then the match started, and it was pretty much 100 from the opening bell. Like, Swerve went for the house call pretty early on, and then Will Ospreay went for a hidden blade pretty early on, and then after that, it was just insane. Like, it was just spot after spot, and it's just like, I didn't know what was going to happen next. Will Ospreay got busted open first. He had a crimson mask. Like, it looked nasty as fuck. It was just crazy what was happening in that match. Like, it was just like, wow. And then they really told the story of like Will Ospreay not being able to get his offense in. Like, he hit a hidden blade and Swerve Strickland no-sold it. And they told the story that, oh, Ospreay, he just didn't hit it right because he lost all that blood. And then like it was just so good. And then Ospreay finally starts battling back, and then he busts Swerve Strickland open. Someone's gonna probably take that out of context, and it's gonna sound super weird. But Swerve Strickland got busted open. So both men had crimson masks, which is just such a crazy visual. Swerve Strickland was bleeding really bad. Like, obviously both men probably bladed. I think Swerve Strickland bladed too deep because there was like puddles of blood everywhere. It was on the floor, on the steel steps, on the announce table, in the ring. It was just like, damn, bro. Like, this feels like a fight. It doesn't feel like a match. It feels like a fight. And then there was just so many times where it's just like both these guys will not go away no matter what they do. Like, they each traded kickouts at one of each finisher. Like, Will Ospreay kicked out of one of the house call, and then Swerve Strickland kicked out of one at the hidden blade, and both men were down. And then they had several moments where it looked like one of them was going to get counted out, or like get counted like knocked out, because they do a 10 count if an opponent's down in the ring. So they really were teasing that, like, for real. Like, they gave everything that they had. Like, that was the story they went with. And then I really like the story that they told with Will Ospreay, because he's been doing all this stuff with the Death Riders, and it really just is now showing that he's not afraid to do whatever it takes to win a match. He's got that killer instinct that he's really been missing, and he's just looks so, like, Will Ospreay is awesome. I love Will Ospreay. And then at the end of the match, the Death Riders came out. We had a couple more near falls after that, and then eventually Will Ospreay, he hit the Paradigm Shift, which is Jon Moxley's finisher, and then hit the Death Rider, which is Jon Moxley's other finisher. And then Will Ospreay hooked him and hit the Tiger Driver, which is a move he said he'd never do again, but he pulled it out for this match, which used to be his finisher, which he doesn't use it anymore, but he pulled it out for this match. He hit it on Swerve Strickland, and they got the 1, 2, 3 off of that. And Will Ospreay is the king, not the king of the ring. Jesus Christ, this isn't no WWE. He's the Owen Hart Foundation tournament winner, and he is gonna face the AEW World Champion at All In Wembley Stadium, which more than likely will be MJF, if we're being completely honest. Mark Briscoe did get a title shot because his team won the steel cage match, so they're having their title match on Wednesday, which that should be a lot of fun. We'll see what comes of that. Obviously, I think MJF is going to retain, because looks like they're going to run Andrade versus MJF next when they do Grand Slam Mexico. And then I think eventually they're going to get to All In. I think MJF is still going to be the champion. And then it's going to be him and Ospreay in the main event, and Ospreay is going to win the title, and it's going to be some good shit. But you never know, because AEW is so just unpredictable. Like, literally anything can happen at any given time. Maybe they could pull a swerve on all of us. They could have Mark Briscoe win the title, and then maybe he drops it back to MJF, or maybe they have Andrade win the title before All In. Like, that would be something. Like, it's stuff that you don't think is going to happen, but it's very realistic. Like, it's when Darby Allin won the title from MJF. Like, we all, like, thought it might happen, but we weren't entirely sure until it actually did. It was one of those things like, oh, it makes sense for Darby to win right now, but MJF is just doing so good with the championship. And then Darby Allin won the title, and then he only had it for like a month and a half, but he had a really good reign with the title, and then MJF won it back. Like, that's what I mean. Like, anything can happen in AEW. So don't put it past AEW to do some crazy shit. But we do know for sure that Will Ospreay is going to challenge for the AEW World Championship at All In. And like I said, I think it's going to be against MJF, which I think is what everyone probably thinks. Man, that's going to be a great match, because I'm pretty sure they've wrestled before. And it was good when that happened. So also, I was very naive, because I said in the last AEW video I did, I wasn't sure if Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. ever wrestled. They wrestled 2 times, and Kenny Omega was 2-0. Now he's 3-0 because he beat Zack Sabre Jr. last night. So I know it's not about all Forbidden Door, but I did wanted to highlight just those couple things, like the steel cage match and the Kenny Omega match, because I enjoyed every match. Like, it was a good show. All the matches kicked ass. And it's like, it's so crazy. It's not like WWE at all. It's like, someone's probably going to think I'm stupid for saying this, because, like, it sounds so obvious, but it's so weird being able to watch, like, a pay-per-view and not have any ads, you know? It's like pretty much every match, it flowed perfectly. Like, once a match ended, the next one started. It wasn't like, oh, the match ended, here's 15 minutes of ads, and then, oh, here's another match now. Like, no, it was match ends, maybe play the video package for the next match, and then the entrances start. Like, that's what a pay-per-view should be. I mean, if you're paying money to watch the show, you shouldn't have to sit through all these ads. So, yeah. But anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. was a great match, don't get me wrong. But Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland, easily up to this point, match of the year. And I don't care what anyone says, because you're not going to change my mind. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss a video. And follow everything in the description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.